seminar participants. My name is Michaela Skyba. I'm from Slovakia, and I'm very honored to be part of this event, at least this forum, and to share with you my experience with service learning at my workplace. I'm working at Institute of Educology and Social Work at Faculty of Arts, Prešov University of Prešov. And first, I would like to say something about history of service learning at our institute. We can say that this effort builds on tradition of volunteering, which has long tradition and also has important place at our institute. The using service learning method in undergraduate training of social workers at our institute builds on traditions from 2012, when Associate Professor Tatiana Matulajová came up with an innovative idea and concrete proposal to improve the interest and of social work students in community through this educational method and strategy. In 2012, our institute, in cooperation with the Prešov Volunteer Center, implemented service learning in Prešov project. And at the time, I had the opportunity as a doctoral student and member of Prešov Volunteer Center to participate in the project and gain new experience in this area, for which I'm very grateful, because this positive experience showed me the meaning and also direction of my future career. So this project was made possible thanks to support of Tatra Bank Foundation and with help of cooperating partners like Greek Catholic Charity, Prešov Volunteer Center, Prešov Community Center, Facilities for Seniors and others, and was created in response of these practical needs. First was the growing need for volunteers in social services sector, and this need of city of Prešov encouraged the search for new opportunities to attract students of University of Prešov for the idea of civic participation. Also, it was increasing or effort to increase the motivation of social work students to volunteer, because like I said before, we have a long tradition with volunteering, and since the academic year 2005, our institute offers social work students course volunteering in social work, and during the course students are motivated to volunteering, and their feedback suggests that they would welcome specific volunteer opportunities, and also they declare their interest in volunteering and argue that they are not volunteers often because they have not been approached by anyone. So the project therefore addressed this situation, and Prešov Volunteer Center has long cooperated with the University of Prešov, specifically with our Institute of Educology and Social Work, and this made it possible to try out a new form of cooperation, and project was one of the ways to how to spread and develop the idea of volunteering and offer students, organizations, and also city platform for its implementation in practice. And the last one was an effort to approach modern trends in education and social work, and also offer students opportunity to develop their competencies for practice, to shape their civic awareness, and to prepare them for the labor market. This positive experience from service learning course was basic motivation for continuing this effort later in the course School Social Work. This is an area that I have been working on for a long time. So the idea of implementing service learning came to me in this area where I see its potential for several reasons. The importance of this method is adopted in the development of awareness and interest of social work students in the school environment, which proves to be important given the fact that school social work is a relatively new service in Slovak Republic, and one of the determinants of establishment of school social work in Slovakia is a low level of initiative on the part of social workers themselves. So on the other hand, many studies of children and young people show tendency for increase in the diverse problems of student population, which due to their multidimensional nature require involvement of several experts, between them also school social workers. So in connection with the current societal changes and spread of problems in social functioning of pupils and their families, it is necessary, according to me, to discuss also issue of undergraduate training of school social workers. And I also perceive this challenge in the context of experience with the implementation of course dedicated to school social work, where students showed low level of awareness of school social work, and at the same time they could hardly imagine implementation of individual interventions by social workers in school system, which is currently dominant area of practice, rather pedagogical profession. So I think that theoretical preparation is very, very important, but it is not enough to increase the potential and interest of students in the school environment, and practical part would allow them direct experience and could also help to concretize the idea of employees, school staff, parents, and wider community about the services of school social workers. So this was achieved at our institute thanks to project aimed at service learning in school social work, and also with help of cooperating partners, and especially thanks to school social workers from primary school in Sevilla, which is a school with high number of children from a socially disadvantaged background. At this time, we offer like two models, two service learning models at our institute. First is course service learning, and second groups include the courses which include service learning, like school social work, field social work, professional practice, and so on. Institute offers students of study field social work from the winter semester of academic year 2012 service learning course. Later we started to implement service learning also in other courses. So the basic test were to provide students theoretical knowledge related to the provision of specific service, provide space to use their skills in a meaningful way for the benefit of community, and to experience sense of direct participation in solving problem of community. And aim of the course is therefore to encourage students to take part in the process of intentional learning, and they have learned to respond in a civic and professionally based way to the real social problems of communities. Students were guided to reflect also and capture the entire process of performing the service through the preparation of monitoring report, which provided a basic starting point for discussing the implementation of the project, its strengths, threats, and related issue. And as part of the course, they completed theoretical preparation, excursions in various organizations, and in those which choose, prepared, and implemented also the proposed projects. So the practical part, the student works under the guidance of statements of students obtained from monitoring reports and interviews with the students. So as you can see, in all areas assessed, it has been shown that students consider service learning to be more effective method of education than traditional methods of education. And according to students, service learning contributes to the support of individual abilities of students and the various complex areas, like excellent or very well, as illustrated in this table. The most significant shift of students within the service learning course we can see in many abilities. For example, it is ability to apply theoretical knowledge and others. So in this ability, we can see that we're at the beginning of the course most rated this ability as insufficient. However, in the final evaluation, most of the participating students indicated a good ability to apply this knowledge in solving community problems. So it was very similar also in the next ability, like ability to reflect ethical issues, the ability to apply research methods, or in the area of potential to contribute to social change. Here on this slide, you can see views and statements and evaluation of students involved in the course of service learning and school social work. I can say that it is always gratifying for educators in social work if students perceive progress, and thanks to service learning, want to continue to focus on the target group. They have had the opportunity to work with, support their volunteering, teamwork skills, or show them direction in their next career, as student statements show on this slide. And at the end of my presentation, I would like to say a few words about service learning research challenges in future. So I want to say that I see the connection between school social work and service, that the connection between school social work and service learning is extremely inspiring for the practice of social work with regard to several research findings, according to which young people who were considered at risk or excluded from the school community and were engaged in service learning activities began to believe that they could have positive benefit their community. They were more accepting diversity and so on. So according or based on these results, we can say that one of its main benefits or one of the main benefits of service learning also reflected in the creation of opportunities for the involvement of marginalized groups in activities and projects within the community. And in this regard, we can perceive service learning as a tool to support social inclusion, build social networks, and also respect the diversity. And given the characteristic of service learning, I believe that it can make significant contribution to empowering social workers in terms of their proactive approach to negotiating their role in dealing with problems in a pupil-environment interaction. So I see very important also connection between service learning and participation of young people in a community life. Because today's practice shows the need to respect children's voices and support pupils and students in expressing their views, needs, and attitudes so that they can make relevant decisions, participate in decision-making process. So reflecting the community dimension of school social work, the participation of young people belongs to its important spheres. So due to time limits, I would like to at least outline my consideration in the context of linking the issue of participation with the use of service learning in the undergraduate training of school social workers. And I propose research topics that could be focused on topics presented on this slide, like identifying opportunities to support the participation of young people in community life, in the undergraduate training of social worker, and so on. And I think that these results could help to improve the undergraduate training of social workers for the school environment, taking into account several dimensions of the issue. So the proposed topics copy also my reflection on service learning as a tool to support the establishment of school social work through the development and support of involvement, initiative, and interest of social workers in the school environment as a tool to support the practical training of social workers for the provision of services in the school environment in terms of strengthening the effectiveness on intervention, as well as tools to support and develop skills, relationships, interactions, community interest, and responsibility, not only for at-risk groups of students. So in conclusion, I would like to thank you for your attention. I would like also to thank you for the opportunity to be part of this project, and also all project partners for the cooperation and productive meetings during which we shared our experience. And I believe that we will develop further cooperation. And I would like also to express my support to my colleagues from Ukraine, and I hope this war ends and people can live in peace.